Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. And welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you may be around the globe. You know, we certainly are having a beautiful day here. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And we have a special guest today that's just going to tell you about some of the things that will take your business or take your book to the next level. And, you know, it's been such an exciting time. And we're so excited about this upcoming conference that's coming up. Monetize You. Monetize You. You know, and that's something that the words within itself should make you think, what do I have in my hands that I could, generate money from? You know, there's a lot, women. There's a lot of value inside of you that you have not even tapped into yet. You know, sometimes you're thinking, well, you don't have this and you don't have that. But let me tell you, you have value, you have work, and there's things that you have inside of you that could bring money, could bring you a monetary return.
Amen.
You know, a monetary return. You know, and this is what International Women's Day, isn't it? And
Yes,
I
it
mean, we're talking to the
is.
women today. We want to stir something up on the inside of you. We want to empower you. We want to ignite you to let you know that you have value and you have work. And with that being said, let me introduce myself. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, your number one inspirational book coach. And I teach you just that. I teach you how to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. And, you know, we're going to talk about some things today, and we're going to get you set for this upcoming conference that's coming up on March the 16th called Monetize You. And with that being said, let me introduce my co-host, and then, Cecilia will chime in.
Great morning, everyone. Great morning. It's such a pleasure to be here. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and it's a beautiful day for you and all of you to be my neighbor. So I'm super grateful for that. Nevertheless, I am Coach T. Rowe, also known as the People's Cheerleader. I am here to encourage women to rid the toxins of their hearts and to set goals that are true to you. Because I totally believe out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. So we want to make sure that whatever's coming from our hearts is going to be coming from a pure place, and we're able to understand and communicate how we feel effectively. With that being said, I am Tiffany Rochelle, Coach T. Rowe. That's all I have. She made the gospel announcements this morning, so I'm going to relinquish my stand and give it back over to Miss Gertrude J. Chapman so she can introduce our guest today, and we can turn our passion into profit.
Love it.
There, go on, Cecilia. Introduce yourself. I mean, you're not a stranger. You're not a stranger to us. Well, let the people know who you are.
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you for having me on your show today. You know, I've been following you in these internet streets for a while now, so it is my pleasure, privilege, and honor to be on this show this morning. Thank you so much for having me. And I am Cecilia Faye Morris, the digital marketing maven. I teach people how to build their brand and business online using digital marketing strategies. And I'm all about turning passion into profit. I am 14 days from being 4 years successfully unemployed, and I have used my passion to turn it into a business to allow me to take charge of my own life and help people do the same with theirs. Again, thank you for having me on your show today.
Yes, and it's such a pleasure just to have you here, and also with Tiffany. You know, I mean, these are powerful women. These are powerful women, and this is something that we always encourage you, women, that you have something on the inside of you. Good morning, Shamika. Good morning, everybody who's out there. And when we talk about maximizing your potential, and stop leaving money on the table, we want to talk about some things because today we're going to talk about streamlining your productivity. Okay? Streamlining it. Free yourself up and avoid unnecessary burnout. Because as I was talking to Cecilia this morning, we were just reminiscing over some things. And I was saying, a lot of times I talk to women and they're so burned out. Tiffany, you and I have had that conversation too. Talking to women and they're so burned out, and you ask them what they've done. And they say, well, I've done this and I've done that. But are you being productive?
Right.
Are you being productive? Or are you just being busy? Okay? There's a difference, y'all. There's a difference. And this is something that, we're going to talk about on this upcoming conference. And Cecilia is one of those dynamic speakers who's going to take you to the next level, whether it's you writing a book and it's on your book writing journey, or if you have that small business, okay? Right. And you running yourself ragged. There's 24 hours in a day. But are you using your hours in a productive manner? Or are you just being busy? Is there wasted time there? We talked about on the last workshop about your goals and planning your goals and setting those plans to meet your goals. But there's other things that you have to bring in check in order not to run yourself ragged, in order not to be burned out. Because I want to tell you, those gifts, talents, and abilities that are in the inside or on the inside of you, they're very important. They are very important. And before you can even introduce them to the world stage, you're tired, you're burned out. And y'all, I get it. But you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
You don't know what you don't know. But we're going to introduce something to you to take you to the next level. So you could have a different perspective of what's happening on a day-to-day basis. Is that all right today?
Let's do it. I love it.
Yes. Too many times I see this, Cecilia. Too many times I see this, Tiffany. And we hear this from women. And we do. We hear this from women. And that's the whole thing. Why women don't see their value, y'all. Because they tired and they burned out. Now, what do y'all got to say about that?
Awesome. Thank you, Tiffany. Well, you know what? I am all about streamlining and adding systems to my business. I share this all the time. I got it from my friend Keisha Bass. If you're not familiar with her, she's another power player in this women's movement. And systems, right? Systems is what we need in our business. And systems stand for a way to save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. You got to put systems in place so that way your business is running and you are not running your business.
That's a good point right there. I actually like that. What does systems mean again?
Save yourself stress, time, energy, and money.
I need to write that down so I can put that in the comments, because right now I feel like today is comment. Let me work comment today. I'm gonna just sit back and listen to y'all. So y'all go ahead and talk about that. Systems, time. No, I didn't. Save yourself time.
Stress, time, energy, and money.
That's a good one, isn't it, Tiffany? I'm familiar with Keisha.
Watch me put that down and put it in the comments. Y'all go ahead.
But it's the truth, y'all. That is the truth, ladies. Y'all know it's the truth. That's why we can't see our value, because we busy doing this, that, and the other. Right. But let's bring that value to the forefront. It's your time. It's your time, okay? It's your time to come forward on the world stage. You've been sitting back, cheering everybody else on. Now it's your time.
Yes.
So let's bring that forward. The first thing we want to talk about today, let me see if I can get these with my banner here.
I'll go ahead and get it.
Okay, you got me. Thank you, Tiffany.
I told you I'm here to work. I'm about to drop out, so y'all can go ahead and do that. I'm gonna work these comments, and I'm gonna work this over here. I'm here.
You here? Okay. The first one is spend time investing in yourself. And a lot of times people don't do that. They don't spend time investing in themselves, but they expect different results.
Right.
And you have to invest in yourself to the level that you expect results. Doing things over and over the same way and not getting those results. Okay, thinking that you're gonna maximize your potential. And you brought it up with the systems, how it just go round and round.
Right.
You have to come to a place, ladies, where you enlighten your mind. Understand. Maybe sometimes people don't try things out because they don't have an understanding exactly what it is. So they
Mm-hmm.
rather do the same things over and over, knowing that nothing's going to change, Cecilia. I know it's crazy, but that's just the way it is,
Right.
because they're afraid or they don't want to disrupt something, and nothing's happening in the first place. It's just going around in a circle. And
Right.
but now it has come a time that people have to aim with accuracy. Okay? Aim
Yes.
with accuracy and stop burning yourself out. Hitting that nail on the head. You know,
Yes.
crushing those goals. What do you got to say about that? You see it all the time too.
I do. And you know what? That was the biggest obstacle for me when I stepped into this entrepreneurial space, is learning about investing in myself. And it's not just time, because if you want to learn a new skill, you got to invest to get the knowledge to learn that new skill. And we're taught as kids coming up, you go to high school, you go to college, you come out of college with debt, you get a job, you work to pay off that debt, and that's life, right? You're always on that hamster wheel going round and round. But we're never taught to invest in our entrepreneurial education. And it's nothing for kids nowadays, and I say kids because I'm a woman of a certain age, but it's nothing for kids to come out of college with $30,000 or $40,000 in debt, and we normalize that, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, that's the norm, and we accept it. But talk to somebody about investing $5,000 to learn a new skill that they can take to the bank that's going to pay them exponentially over and over again for the rest of their life. All of a sudden, everybody's like, no, or, they get the alligator arms. They can't reach their wallet, right? So you got to invest in yourself. You wouldn't get a doctor that got his degree by watching YouTube videos. How can you expect somebody to invest in your business if you haven't invested in yourself to get the skills to next level your business? So you got to spend the time and the money investing in yourself.
And that is so true. That is so very true. Reprogramming the mind. Reprogramming the mind, because we see that all the time.
Yes.
We see that all the time. Yes, you must invest in yourself. You got to.
Yeah.
And just like you say, getting all that debt, think it's the normal thing to do.
Yep.
And that's not normal at all. Just getting further and further in debt and then have to worry about it. But, if that's you, you could start right where you are. Okay?
Yep.
You could start right where you are. Instead of investing your money into items that depreciate, start investing in yourself, because you never depreciate.
Right.
Never. Your value is priceless. Your value always go up. And as long as you have a mind, not only to think, but a mind to create, okay? A mind to create things that you could introduce on the world stage that has not even been created yet. You have that ability with inside of you. If you just stop to think who you are, if you have done that assignment that I had recommended you do, defining yourself, and find out who you are, and find out all of those good things that are inside of you, and begin to create that. First it's going to tell you about who the pain points of your audience, who your audience is. When you sit down and define yourself, and just think of how you could create whatever it is you need to create, whether it's that message, whether it's that product, whether it's that service, and you sit there. But invest in yourself to be able to expand your mindset, where you be able to connect with your audience to bring a transformation into their lives. Yes. That's what investing in yourself is all about. And it will never, you will always get a return on your investment. It never fails. But
Now, I was just going to say, in every next level of you will require a next level investment. So when I got my engineering degree, that took a certain level of investment, but it also allowed me to demand a certain price in the marketplace, right?
Yes.
And then when I went back to school and got my master's degree, it took another level of investment, but I also could demand another level in the marketplace. So as you invest in yourself, as Ms. Gertrude says, your value appreciates. You can command more for your product, service, or opportunity in the marketplace if you've got the skill set behind you to prove that you are the go-to person, you are the resource, you are the one that your ideal client, customer, or business partner is looking for.
Yes, and that's good. She said expansive, not expensive, and that's very true. That is so true.
Love it.
Those levels. Yes, yes. That is beautiful, y'all. That is beautiful. And here's another one. Our next talking point is supercharge your productivity.
You talking my language, Miss Gertrude.
Honey, this is the language. Hey, right. Hey, like minds think alike, right? Like minds. How can two walk together unless they agree? And there's more than two of us that agree with them. People don't realize, especially you entrepreneurs, especially you authors out there. Okay, you can no longer be doing the same things over and over again over the internet streams and expect to not be wore out. Okay, this pen and paper, this way of spamming groups and having useless conversations, and then you wondering why you're tired, you're busy, all this busyness and no productivity. This is not the year 2000. Remember, the internet changed at a lightning speed. Year 2000, you remember it was a Y2K thing? I don't know if we're dating ourselves or whatever, but we tell you it. A Y2K, it was nothing but a reset, okay? A reset. Just think about that. Think about the things that are happening. It's just not everyday news. You have to pay attention. Think about the year 2020. Reset. Things are not going to be the same way. Think about what they call it 5G. I know they're even talking about 6G. Think about the things that are happening over the internet. Think about the algorithms. You remember back in the day, there was no algorithms. You used to put things on there and people just will respond to you. Those things are changing. There's certain things that you can't do that you used to do back in the day. Look at the big boys. Just like I told you beforehand when we were talking about books. Amazon platform with Jeff Bezos. Okay, just look at what he's doing and copy that. Okay, but sometimes your mindset is so set where you looking at him as this big guy who's doing all this stuff, and you're not seeing yourself with that same capability of doing those things. You absolutely can. And just look at that, Cecilia.
Well, yeah, there's a picture. It's been floating around for a couple of years now where Jeff Bezos is in this little bitty cramped, crowded office with the sign up behind him that says Amazon. And he had a vision and he had a dream and he found a way to make it happen. And even with Jeff Bezos, look at how Amazon has expanded over the years, right? Before he was doing his own thing. Now you can be an Amazon merchant. I can be an Amazon merchant. I can sell stuff on Amazon. Like, it didn't start out like that, but it evolved over time to handle the changing marketplace. And that's what we have to do in our businesses, is evolve over time to handle the changing marketplace. And in order to do that, you have to be more productive. But it's not about being busy. It's about taking those actions that produce results.
Yes. And just like what's the Zuckerberg and things of that nature. Look at the internet. Look how it's evolving. Look how it's called meta now. Look at those things, okay? So you can't continue doing those same things over and over spamming groups, having useless conversations, and all of those things, and expect, to be able to reach your audience, because you will get tired out. We have something called automate, okay?
Yes.
And this is what the conference is going to be talking about. And I know Cecilia has something that she's a specialty in. She specializes in.
Yes.
Instead of you chasing your customers, they come to you.
Yep.
Yes. Who got time, Cecilia? Who got time to chase people?
Nobody. And that is the worst way to do business, because it leads to frustration, overwhelm, and burnout. If you are constantly chasing people down to get on this Zoom call, to watch this video, to try this product, you are always going to be chasing people. It's better to be hunted instead of the hunter, right? And it's all about having the right people come to you and to come in your world. We call it the reverse invite, right? That's where people invite themselves to you instead of you asking them to do something. And if you put enough out there in the right way to where you're being productive, not busy, you're sharing the product, service, or opportunity that you have to offer with the right people, trust me, they'll come into your world. I have 4 years of being successfully unemployed to attest to that fact.
And that was a beautiful story when you were talking about your unemployment and how, you from there, if you wanted to share your story, to where you are now, and if it worked for you, it'll work for anybody. But they just have to be, dedicated to do that.
Well, thank you for allowing me to share, because it's a common theme, right? I was working, doing my engineering thing, working, traveling, hanging out with friends, and all of a sudden my mom got sick. I'll never forget, it was April Fool's Day 2009, and my mom was in ICU. I shot home from Ohio to Indianapolis. I probably did an hour and a half ride in about 45 minutes. I got there so fast. And the doctor said if we didn't amputate her legs, that she was going to pass away. They put her in hospice of Indianapolis, moved her to hospice of Dayton, and that little lady lived on those sticks for another almost 9 years. In the process of me caring for my mom, my dad also got sick. And when my dad got sick, we always made a deal that if his wife passed away before him, then he was going to relocate from Indiana to Ohio to stay with me. So now I've got 2 parents with 2 separate sets of medical conditions. And I'm taking a lot of time off from work, right? Because again, it's family. First and foremost, that's family. And you do what you got to do. So I lost my job, and I had 2 choices at that point. I could get another job, but how well is that going to go over when I got sick parents that I'm taking care of? Or I can invest in myself to get the skills I need, so that way I can care for my parents in the way that they need. And if the name for people like me and people out there watching it is called the sandwich generation. We are the sandwich generation. We're caring for our parents, we're caring for our kids, and somewhere in the middle, we're trying to care for ourselves. So for those of you that are out there that are part of the sandwich generation like I was, you get it. And family first, I mean, look, jobs come and go. If we didn't learn nothing else from the pandemic, we learned that we are disposable, right? But family is forever. And I took that skill set in my 401k, and I figured out a way to make it happen. And I wouldn't trade those years for the world. And the good thing about it is the whole time that I was unemployed, my family had, my mom and dad, meaning my family, they didn't have a clue. It wasn't anything they asked for that they didn't get. And there wasn't anything that they needed or they wanted that I didn't provide. So my story is not unique. It is very common. What's unique about my story is only the uncommon will take what they have, as Miss Gertrude started this, turn your passion into your purpose, turn that purpose into dollars.
And that's it. And that's exactly what you did, So ladies, it's hope, it's hope. Because they heard in my story too, how I turned, my unfortunate situation, and which was a fortunate situation,
right?
But when the housing market went bust, and how I turned my hobby into a full-fledged business, and that was back in 2006, and what is 2022 now?
Right.
You know? So, it is possible, but you have to, set those things up. You
Yeah.
have to see, those possibilities,
Yes.
because, it's very possible for you to do those things without, suffering burnout, without having to be discouraged and all of those things, because Cecilia, we all live busy lives, right?
Don't we? Well,
We
and you know
all.
what? You touched on something earlier that I don't want to gloss over because you mentioned automation. You got to have automation in your business. You got to have
Mhm.
systems in place that run that you don't have to be in control of. Automation is the easiest way that you can increase the productivity in your business because you have systems running in the background so you can take care of more of the business building activities. So
Mhm.
automation is key. I know there was a study done by MIT a few years back that said if you can respond to somebody within the first 5 minutes of them making a request from you, you are 70 to 80% more likely to turn that person into a customer. Well, none of us want to be chained to our computer 24/7. The only way that you can be that person to give those responses in a timely manner is to put some automation in your system to make things happen. It's like Warren Buffett said, if you don't make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. And I like to add on to that, and your job will replace you before you are in the ground. So you've got to have systems and automation in place to make your business run.
That is so true. That is so true. Might send you some flowers, right? They might.
Right?
Oh, yes, they might. Yes. And like you said, adapt to the next level of organization.
Yes.
The next level of organization. And this is the next level. This is, your goals, your plans. Write down the automation into your plans. Okay. This is another part of everything that we've been talking about on this broadcast. Automation. It has to be a part. Your plans has to include, put it this way, automation.
Yes.
In order to be able to do all of the things that you need to do to have your business running. Or even if you're an author, you say, well, Gertrude, I don't have a business, Cecilia, I don't have a business. But you remember what I told you. Your book is your gateway.
Right.
Don't stop with a book because you never know where it's going to lead you to.
Yes.
And if you just stop with that one book and say, oh, I just written my book and I wrote a book and, to get my message out. Just think of the many ways that it could have led you to other streams of income. Or in this case, when we're talking about a book, it's revenue. You create it once and you'll constantly get money over and over again.
Yes.
Okay? Your book is a gateway. My book writing was a gateway for me having a business.
Right.
Okay? I didn't see that before, Cecilia. It was just a hobby. It was just play for me. Okay? But next level organization, y'all. And you have to be prepared. We talked about this yesterday, being prepared.
Yes.
Always be prepared for opportunities because opportunities are passing you each and every day. Okay? But if you're not prepared, you won't be able to see them. If you frazzle in your mind and you burned out, you definitely won't see them.
Right.
Okay? And all this automation, what we're talking about, as Cecilia just mentioned to you, you'll be able to, handle those things that otherwise will wear you down. Because I'm going to tell you, you cannot compete with these AIs out here, these robots, artificial intelligence, whatever you want to name them. They can't compete with that. Nobody can, Cecilia.
Right.
Am I right about it?
No, we are not machines. We are people. Okay. And people will never, outperform a machine. I was watching a video a friend of mine did. He's a trucker. They got machines that load trucks nowadays, right? You don't even need people to load trucks. So it's like, come on now, you've got to put automation in your system, in your business. And not only that, you got to be able to market your business. In your case, your book, right? If you write a book and you're not marketing and telling people about your book, it's just another book on the shelf, right? If you're not telling people, hey, I got this book, this is what it's about, this is where you can get it, you've got to have marketing as part of your business strategy as well. Marketing is critical to letting the world know how amazing you are, how the product, service, or opportunity you have will benefit them. Think about the commercials that you watch on TV. You know, how often are those commercials relevant to what you're going to do right now, right? But the whole purpose of the commercial is that when you think of something you need that they offer, the first thing that's going to come to mind is that last commercial you saw about that product, service, or opportunity. And that's how you need to consider your marketing budget. People may not be ready to buy from you right now, but when a need comes up that you provide a solution for, you're going to be the person that they go to if you're marketing and putting the word out about your business. And if it's a book, you definitely want to market because you want to let people know that you've got a story to tell and they need to read it.
And that's very good. That's very good because too many people, okay, one of the pet peeves of mine, you probably heard me say this, is people, they have written a book and those books are now what? They're in boxes, sitting in the garage, in boxes, deteriorating, collecting dust, or they're carrying them around in their car. Or worse yet, they're on the platforms of Barnes and Noble, Amazon, and they're not doing anything.
Right.
You know, messages that are very vital to reach an audience, to change lives.
Yes.
And, you know, that's just something that shouldn't be, y'all. It shouldn't be. So take a chance and go to that next level to organize your business or organize your books on this book writing journey. And here's another one. Make strong presentation. Okay. Some people may say, well, I've tried it, you know, and it didn't work for me. They tried it, Cecilia, you hear me? And
I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we got to be like Thomas Edison, right? What was a quote I heard from him? He didn't fail 10,000 times. He learned what didn't work 10,000 times. So if you tried it and it didn't work, that's great because that means you don't have to fall into that trap again. What you do is you keep trying stuff until you find that thing that works. I remember when I got started in my business and it was just like, oh, I don't want to be known as the Facebook girl. But then I realized that there's a lot of people who need to know how to market on Facebook effectively, how to understand the data that they get from their ads. So I spent my time and my money learning how to create highly successful and profitable Facebook ads so that way I can teach it to others. It wasn't so much that I messed up a lot of times. I was just doing it wrong because I didn't get the right training. Same thing with you and your book publishing business. Yes, there is a way to self-publish your book, but why not learn from someone who's done it so you can avoid all the pitfalls and the mistakes along the way? And most importantly, you can save money. The money that you spend to learn the skill you need to be successful is the money that you'll save by making the mistakes being unsuccessful.
And it's so true. It's so true. And like you said, you know, you learned the Facebook one, but people have to understand this also, that all platforms are different. Yes. And they all serve different audiences. Well, there's different ways to reach those audiences on these different platforms. Right. You know? And they try to do it one way for all platforms. And it just doesn't work that way.
Nope.
You know? And so that's where you talk about, you know, educating yourself, investing in yourself.
Yes.
And the level that, you know, you want to see those returns. And you just heard her talk about, you know, the marketing aspect, what you have to do. You have to have an understanding. Well, hey, this is not work. This worked for Facebook, but it's not working for LinkedIn. I tried it over here. Okay.
Yep.
It's not working for Instagram. It's not working for Twitter. It's not working for what is that? Pinterest.
TikTok.
Yeah, and then we got
Pinterest.
TikTok. That's a whole different animal, okay?
Right.
And Snapchat, you know? And then there's other ones out there that we're just naming a few. There's other things out there, you know?
Right.
You have to get to know those platforms, and you have to, you know, get with those experts, invest in the knowledge that these people have, so you will stop wasting money.
Right.
Learn how to streamline things.
Yes.
You know, your productivity. Just don't take it where, you know, you're watching these YouTube videos. I'm gonna tell you, there's good things on YouTube and there's trash on YouTube, just like with Google. Okay. I always tell the audience this. There's 63,000 Google searches every second of every day of people looking for information on the internet. But we all live busy lives. So people rather get information from an expert, a household name that they can trust, who's showing up constantly, who's showing them how to have an easy win.
Yes.
Okay? Over this internet, where they could have that easy win and overcome that objection that they already had.
Yeah.
Instead of wasting their time trying to look for the right answer by Google searching or looking at YouTube.
Right.
Because, like I tell you, Cecilia, there's good things out there, you know, in these internet streets, and then there's junk out there. There's things that
and you shouldn't try
nothing.
Yes, and definitely if you are a business owner, don't YouTube your business, right? Find you a leader. You know what they say, if you want what somebody else has, you got to do what they do, right? So find you a leader in your industry. Find someone that is doing what you want to do and ask them, how do I get what you got? And they'll give you a blueprint. You know, the craziest thing about it is a lot of people think, oh, they're such a big name, they're not going to talk to little old me. I remember when I did an event last June, and I interviewed a gentleman named Todd Brown. If you're not familiar with him, he teaches the E5 method. Todd Brown is a powerhouse in this internet space, right? I mean, he's the guy that Russell Brunson goes to when he has questions, ClickFunnels. Todd Brown has summits at his house where people come from all over the world to him to listen to and learn from him on what it is he has to say about direct sales marketing, direct marketing, online marketing. And he took time to interview little old me, right? So don't think just because somebody's a big name or because they've got a lot going on that they're not going to take the time to share their knowledge with you or give you the information you need so you can level up and be like them one day. But you've got to take the action. You've got to make those strong presentations. You've got to put yourself out there and be vulnerable so that way you can find the people who are willing to take you under their wing and nurture you. And you got to be ready to invest. I'm not going to say that enough. You got to be ready to invest. I couldn't just go to an employer and say, hey, I want to be your engineer if I didn't have the diploma, the degree behind me to make it happen. And it's the same way with your business. You got to have the skills, you know, and the investment in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. Education is something that nobody can ever take away from you. And again, if you're going to try to DIY your business, you're going to get DIY results.
And that's so very true. That's so very true. And, you know, we trying to bring you up here, audience, to that level where you're streamlining your productivity, where you're making those strong presentations because somebody's looking for you. Somebody's looking for you just like you may be looking for somebody, okay? But invest in yourself at that level that you're expecting those results. And when we're talking about making those strong presentations, make sure you're constantly delivering, okay? Yes. You're showing up for your audience. You're constantly delivering. You're flowing with your expertise and your knowledge, okay? Because that's so, so very important. Just like we're teaching you how to be effective and to avoid burnout, the same thing that you do for your audience, okay? Yes. And see yourself as somebody that has value, somebody value on the inside, okay? And more than self-esteem, y'all. You have value. There's something that you know, there's something that you could do that's better than somebody else, okay? Always look at your uniqueness and be unapologetically you.
Amen
Be
to that.
unapologetically you. And
Love
that's
it.
something that I always say, tell people never apologize for who they are, just flow in their uniqueness. But, I hope that, what you have shared with the audience has brought them value. What do you think? If you have any last words as we closing out, Cecilia?
Well, I think this has been an amazing experience, Gertrude. Thank you so much for having me on this
You're
platform. I'm
welcome.
looking forward to the 16th where we get to do this all again. If I have any famous last words for our audience today, just to recap everything that you have brought to the table, you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to be able to have those strong presentations, and you've got to know that you have value. I don't care who you are, there is someone out there who wants to hear your story and that can learn from you. As they say in church, your test is a testimony. So make sure to put yourself out there, invest in yourself to get the skills you need, and market. So that way people know who you are and what you have to offer.
And that's very well said. Supercharge your productivity. And like she said, meet us at that conference on March the 16th. The information is in the comment section. It's a free conference, virtual conference. And you could get the information, like I said, in the comment section. Just go over there and register on Eventbrite. But with that being said, we hope that what you have heard brought value to you, and we look forward to seeing you the next time on Turning Your Passion in the Profit Morning Show. Remember this. This is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.